The sound of silence. In a small windswept village nestled between two mountains, there lived an old monk named Rohan. He had spent the last 40 years in a monastery, known by the villagers not for his words, but for his silence. Every day, the villagers saw him tending the garden, feeding the birds, or helping the children carry water from the well. He never spoke, not out of arrogance, but out of choice. Some thought he was mute. Others thought he had taken a vow. But no one really knew. What they did know was this: whenever someone came to him with a problem, they left lighter, calmer, and wiser. One day, a young man named Arav came to the village. He was fiery, ambitious, and recently heartbroken. A business deal had gone wrong, his closest friend had betrayed him, and on top of it all, his family blamed him for everything. Arav was filled with anger and noise, internal noise that wouldn't let him sleep or think clearly. When he heard of the silent monk, he was skeptical. What good can a man who doesn't speak possibly do? But desperate for peace, he climbed the hill to the monastery. Rohan was sitting by the lotus pond, watching the dragonflies hover above the water. Arav walked up to him and blurted out, "I need advice. My life is falling apart. People betray me. They lie. They hurt me. And I keep reacting. I yell, I fight back, but it only makes things worse. I want to scream every time I think about them." The monk simply looked at him. No judgment, no words, just presence. Annoyed, Arav continued, "Why don't you say something? Don't you have anything to offer?" Still, Rohan said nothing. He slowly pointed toward the pond and motioned for Arav to sit beside him. Reluctantly, Arav sat. For a few minutes they just sat together in silence. The wind moved the surface of the water. A fish jumped. Then Rohan reached into his robe and took out a small bell. He rang it once, softly. The sound rippled through the air, then faded. He turned to Arav and finally spoke, his voice calm and measured.
"What did you hear?"
The bell. It was beautiful. Why was it beautiful? Because it was clear, pure, not mixed with anything. Rohan smiled. It was beautiful because there was silence before and after it. Without silence, no sound is pure. Without silence, no thought is clear. Without silence, no heart can heal. Arav looked at him, puzzled. Rohan continued, "You are full of noise. Noise from anger, noise from the past, noise from the world. You react to everything because you are not silent inside. You speak, shout, argue, but nothing changes. When you learn to be silent, you begin to listen, not just to others, but to yourself." He stood up and motioned for Arav to follow. They walked through the garden, where butterflies danced among the marigolds. Rohan stopped beside a bamboo tree. "This bamboo took 5 years before it broke the soil," he said. "Every day it looked like nothing was happening, but beneath, its roots were growing, becoming strong. Then suddenly, it shot up, growing feet in just weeks." Silence is like that. It may look like nothing is happening, but inside, you are growing. For the next few days, Arav stayed in the village. He didn't speak much. Instead, he watched, listened, walked, breathed, and learned the art of silence. When he returned to his life in the city, things were still chaotic, but he wasn't. He no longer reacted immediately when someone offended him. He no longer felt the need to defend every word or prove every point. He listened more, spoke less, and slowly his presence began to change things. People began to respect his calm. Opportunities returned. Relationships healed. Years later, when someone asked him what changed his life, he smiled and said, "A man who said nothing taught me everything." Moral of the story: in a world full of noise, silence is strength. It gives us clarity, control, and calm. When we stop reacting, we start responding. And sometimes the loudest power comes from saying nothing at all.